Call this public hearing to order. The purpose of the public hearing is obviously to hear from the public in regards to our 2013 budget. This is not a debate session, it's a hearing. I'd like to ask Bob Hyde to call the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk would please read the notice of the hearing.
Notice is hereby given the county legislature, County of Herkimer, will meet in the legislative chambers, County Office Building, 109 Mary Street, Herkimer, New York, 7 p.m., 12th day of December 2012, for the purpose of holding a public hearing on the tentative budget of said County of Herkimer for the year beginning January 1, 2013. Notice is further given the maximum annual salary for county legislator for the year 2013 shall be $6,500, and the maximum annual salary of the chairman of the legislature for 2013 shall be $12,000, and that said salaries have remained the same since the year 2001. Notice is further given. Copies of said tentative budget are available in the office of the clerk of the legislature, where they may be inspected or procured by interested persons during business hours by order of the Herkimer County Legislature.
Thank you, Cheryl. We have two people that are signed up to speak. I'd like to call first Carl Streeter from Ilion, New York. And I'd like to keep our comments to 5 minutes, please.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. I haven't had much time to review the budget. We got up just yesterday, but my purpose is to commend you, Matt, and your group for the hard work and all the effort that went into producing this budget. I know that you and the department heads worked hard to hold the line, and I think you've done an admirable job of that. I'm especially pleased to see that you get into the unallocated reserve. You know, my feelings on that, I've always thought that it would be a little bit heavy. I understand the need for insurance, protections, reserves, but I think to use it as you did this time was a judicious move, and so I say thank you. I noticed the jail went up by 5%. There'll be more about that when we get to the jail.
Is there anyone else from the public that would wish to speak? If not, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Gary Hartman.
As Mr. Streeter said, I'd like to commend the department heads and the legislators and the committees that work so diligently on this. I know it's hard work, and unfortunately I missed the majority of the sessions on Friday mornings, but I do commend you for the job you did. There's one point I'd like to bring up. Mr. Streeter had also mentioned the unallocated reserve, and one of my thoughts is that we should all consider returning the 1% of the sales tax back to the municipalities that was taken away. I'm not sure how many years ago, but I was on the village board at the time, and it was a significant blow to us. And the reason I believe it's better in the hands of the municipalities is because the towns and villages provide virtually all of the services to every business that raises that revenue that comes into the county coffers. And those costs of services are rising drastically constantly, and they're a big hit on village and town taxpayers. I think we should seriously consider returning some of that money that some of the 1% sales tax that was taken away, because these municipalities need help providing the services to the businesses that generate that revenue, and also provide the services to this building and a number of other county and other tax exempt buildings. Thank you.
Is there any other legislators that would like to make any comments? Yes.
Mr. Chairman, last year I had asked, and I was able to cost out the vacancies that were in this budget that are funded. And I recognize that the tentative budget that people will be reviewing have positions in them that are funded, and then, I'm talking vacancies now, that are funded, and there's some that are not funded. I just got from Mr. Wallace that which I asked for, and I will be doing some reconciliation before we vote on the budget next Wednesday. But I would caution anyone who's reviewing the packet that we have, and then we have the salary schedules here that were given to us, and some of the positions might be different. I'm a little confused, and I would like to spend some time with Mr. Wallace later to understand it. I'm specifically, I was looking tonight at what has taken place in the real property tax office and the layoffs, because the tentative budget has the positions, or this budget has the positions, and I don't know if what we'll be voting on next week will be this, or it'll be a modified version of even this. Do we know, will what we vote on next week modified from this?
Should be, right?
Will we have a sheet that shows the reconciliation?
Sure.
Okay.
We had planned to have one, Mr. Ross.
We would have that showing it. Thank you.
We should
very
have
much.
that, 3 or 4 days ahead of time.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, there's several changes that have to be made after next Friday's meeting also.
Mr. Chairman, I did my best to attend all of the budget workshops. I think there might have been a Thursday session. I reserved every Friday, and I might have missed one on Thursday. And, our department heads came in. I thought they were very open. I wish it was a more interactive process. Maybe time doesn't allow for that, or the department heads, of course, meet with Jim. And I don't say this from a point of micromanaging. It's just I think there's a tremendous education that can take place. I think I'm more versed than I was when I came here 5 years ago, and I recognize I still have a great deal to learn about the process. And but I do appreciate that the meetings were open, and I do believe that people worked hard on it. Thank you.
Mr. Bono?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to thank you, I want to thank the committee, I want to thank Mr. Wallace, Mr. Decker, the department heads for putting together a very fiscally responsible budget in light of the economic turmoil that everyone faces in the state and the country. I would put our budget up and its process against any budget from any other county in this state. I know we've been very conservative with our budget. We're in better shape than most. Can we be better? Sure, we always can. We're always fighting to do that. We've got good people on our staff, good employees, and so again, I want to thank you and all those involved for putting in the time, the effort, and I'm confident that the taxpayers are getting their money's worth in this budget. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bono, and obviously I'm sure I'm accepting on behalf of the department heads, but the legislators, you have done a wonderful job at this too. Yes, Mr. Brzezinski.
Mr. Chairman, just a thought. Well, what would happen if maybe at a 6-month period, there would be like a mini get-together of the department heads with us, just to see where we stand, so at the end of the year, we're not really down on everything that we need to correct. You know what I'm saying? What would happen if we did something of that nature?
Well, actually, this is sort of not germane to the public hearing process. However, we do have 6-month updates. We don't have it with the department heads. Mr. Wallace does that and brings it to the committee.
Well, I'm talking not only the committee, but anybody that would want to attend like we do on a Friday, even though we don't sit on that committee. I'm here most of the time.
Well, anybody obviously can attend the Ways and Means Committee.
Thank you.
Mr. Hyde.
Mr. Chairman, can you tell me if the part-time people, if we were able to grant them their raise?
Yes, the raises are in there. They're variable on some. Mr. Wallace knows that better than I do. I think he explained it before, but you want him to?
No, I just wanted to thank you and the committee for taking a look at this. Some of them, it's been many years since they've had a raise, and I think it's important to their morale. We do depend on part-time people, and for some of them, due to the economy, it's probably their only job. So I appreciate your looking into it, and I'm sure they will also appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I mean, obviously, we'd like to hear from fellow legislators who might not be on the committee in regards to some of their concerns. So, is there anyone else? Mr. Corpse.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. In the opening letter to this tentative budget, it lists the large increases that we face. And one of them was our employee retirement account. And the New York State retirement system has asked for substantial increases, not only from us, but from all municipal employers in the state. It is the intention of this legislature to pay that in an upfront sum, and that will save us, I think, $30,000, $25,000 to $30,000. And that's the kind of way we do business here, and to make the payment as least as we can. I know our neighboring counties are going to defer this payment. Some of them are borrowing to make this payment, and Herkimer County's solvency and attitude toward these kind of bills is to make them as least costly to the taxpayers as they can be. And that's just an example, I think, how we've tried to do business here in Herkimer County.
Yeah, I mean, we're very fortunate that we don't have any debt service as of right now. Any other legislators? This hearing is adjourned.